Hey everybody. I'm super duper excited because as some of you know, I had a ticket to go see Lois Lowry, who is a famous author, speak at somewhere on my campus. So I just got back from that. In a word, it was fabulous. She is just such a cool person. I mean, she's like 75 years old and she's still going. And, you know, her inspiration for things is just so interesting. It's just, it was just wonderful. And, I'm making this video just to, you know, like, to kind of, it's dedicated to the two questions I ended up asking in the answer and question session, because the video I took, while it is somewhat good quality, I don't know. You kind of have to turn up the volume to hear it, so I'll just give you, and also, as much as Lois Lowry is just amazing, she's like me. Her answers are super long-winded, and she goes on random tangents, and she actually said so herself, that she does that. So, yeah, the two questions I asked, if you guys never read The Giver, or if you have not read Messenger or Gathering Blue or anything, you might not want to, listen to this, because this has some spoilers. So, the first question I asked was, why she ended up ending Messenger, the third book in the series, the way she did, which is, I read it a few years ago, but ultimately in the end, Maddie, one of the recurring characters, and who is the main character in this book, uses his special gift to heal the forest, and ultimately he dies. And that was actually the first time I ever cried at a book. Like, I literally just shut myself in my room and cried for 10 minutes. And I've been wondering since then, why? Because she even said so herself, that she had this, like, attachment to Maddie back when he was Matt in Gathering Blue. She just loved him so much because he was, he was, a troublemaker and he stole and stuff. It was all for a good cause, but he was just such a bad kid. And, I was just wondering, like, if she loved him so much, why did she let him die? And she told me that a lot of the time when she's writing, she just writes on the spot. She doesn't think beforehand, really. She doesn't do outline. She doesn't do index cards, as you'll hear in the video. You have to turn the volume up a little bit, but she doesn't do that. She just writes, and whatever comes to her head, and she said that the way the story was going, it was the only way to end it, and now that I think about it, yeah, it was the only way to end it, and, it was building up to that, and it just, as heartbreaking as it is, it had to end that way. So, and the second question I asked, people thought it was funny. I asked if, Jonas and Kira end up getting married, or if they get together, because, the little fangirl shipper I am, I was just like, I want to know if they're together officially before I start looking up fanfiction on this. I didn't really say that, but she told me, she read from her new book, Sun. This is the last book in the series. She actually found, I'm going to try to find it, because she did read to us a little bit of it, actually, which was really cool. She did read a few excerpts from it. I'm losing my train of thought now, darn it. So, which was really nice. Sorry about that. The first thing she read to us was, the first couple chapters of, the first couple pages of the first chapter of Sun, which actually deals with Gabe's mother, his birth mother, because when Jonas is still in the community, he Gabe, that there's the birth mothers and stuff, and that's basically what this is about, is Gabe's birth mother Claire finding him. And the funny thing is that the original concept was Gabe finding her, but that becomes kind of a subplot in the third part of the book. So, and she read to us what the conversation that Jonas and Gabe have about his birth mother, and he's gonna go find her, and eventually she said Gabe builds a boat because the community that they live in is bordered by a river, so he's gonna go find his birth mother. And the 3 sentences actually, now that I find this, is Jonas is talking to Kira, and it says, you know he's building a boat. Kira nodded. She had just gotten the children to sleep. And I just had like this little freak out moment, and people just started clapping, and I was like, yes! My newest OTP is realized, and it's canon, and they have children. Oh my god! And I just had this like little like fangirl moment in the audience. Luckily, like Lois Lowry wasn't looking at me when that happened, but like my friend next to me was just like, oh my gosh! And she actually told me, when I told her I was going to ask questions, I told her, she's like, maybe it's answered in there, and it is. And I was just like, oh my god! And you know what, they freaking deserve it. You know, poor Jonas and Kira have gone through so much. They deserve to be happy. They deserve happiness. So anyway, and then the last thing I was going to show you guys. So Lois Lowry actually talked to me and answered 2 of my questions. She signed right there. It says, I had to have a post-it note because there were so many people in line, and the poor lady was just sitting there like, sign, sign. So, there's her signature. And then in a little bit, my friend Keely, who I was with, is going to be uploading the pictures she took to Facebook, and I will be putting the one of me on Tumblr, along with a picture of my signature that I got. So, it was really awesome, and I'm so glad I went, because, yeah, I love Lois Lowry. I love her writing. I think she's just amazing, and yeah, I just, you know, I figured out that she actually has a similar writing process to what I have. I just write. I don't really think about things beforehand, not really. You know, I get an idea and I just have to write it down, and also she rambles a lot like I do. I was like, that's so cool. So anyway, I thought I'd share it with you guys. Yeah, I would definitely recommend reading the Giver. It's a quartet now. It was a trilogy, but and anything else by her. We read I had Numbered the Stars read to me in 3rd grade, and that was about Nazi Denmark during World War II, and that was a good book. I thought that was really good. So I haven't read any of her other books, but now this is her 40th. She said this is her 40th book. And yeah, so I guess that's it. So